Hi, you guys. Got big stuff going on. It's kind of going to be an informal video. I'm going to make 2 dishes. The husband's over on the couch. He's a little peckish. But I just got home from Disneyland, and it was epic for a birthday celebration. And so, I didn't want to go too crazy, but I did want to kind of course things out. So, remember how I always say mostly low carb? Well, in this one, it's not all that low carb. And the only reason it's not low carb is because I'm going to use my husband's homemade sourdough bread. I'm going to make a rustic bruschetta. I'm copying a recipe. I'm determining what I felt was in the flavor notes. I feel like I use flavor notes in every video. In any case, I've determined what the flavor notes are, and I'm going to try to recreate it. But that'll be course 1, and I'll bring it over to the husband and get his little feedback on it. He's always really honest. But it is mushrooms, goat cheese, which is in the fridge, parsley, and a little bit of a surprise sweet attack with a little peach jam. I mean, I know it sounds funny, but honestly, it works so well with the bite of the cheese and the chill. Yeah, I'm serious. Try it. But this is not low carb. It's carby because of the bread. However, if you want to make it low carb, you can substitute the peach jam for sliced strawberries and put it on a little roasted zucchini boat, and you can slice it. Whatever. This is not low carb the way I'm doing it today, so it's real yummy though, and a super big crowd pleaser. You'll notice I got some leeks here because that's going to be the second course. I'm going to make a Turkish dish called Zeytinyağlı Pırasa. The word for leeks is Pırasa. Zeytinyağlı is olive oil. This is one of my all-time favorite dishes ever. And the first time I had it, I was like, what is this goodness in my mouth? It really took me by surprise. My sister-in-law, my husband's sister, is one of the greatest cooks I have ever had the privilege to know. And she taught me this, and I'm going to teach it to you. So stay tuned. I'm going to do a lot of high speed in this one because, well, it's past dinner time here, and I'm peckish, and so is he. But it's worth recording.
Overalls too. Look how cute they are. So cute. Love them.
Anyway. I should link those. Yeah, they're really worth it. Anyway, let's get started on some of that bruschetta I was talking about. It is bruschetta. It is not bruschetta. That CH in Italian is a hard K sound. Now you know. Okay. Olive oil. Let's say 3 turns the pan. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. 3 turns. We got the mushrooms. Here we go. We're just going to put half of these in. They shrink down a lot, but it's just the husband and I, so I don't need to use all of them. Tomorrow, what I'm going to do with them is make a scramble, also with goat cheese and asparagus and these, and that is keto. So I'll do that too. I mean, for you guys. All right. So see, just about half. And here we go. I'm going to cook those up. Nothing crazy. So this is really low maintenance way. Now, if I was entertaining, I would, really finely chop some shallots, and actually maybe I should put some shallots in there. It's kind of a good idea. Okay, you guys, good. Look. Yeah, the shallot was a great idea. Thanks. I'm going to just chop this up with my mandolin right into the pan. So, here we go. Watch your fingers on that mandolin, man. This is a really good one. I should actually post this. I'm trying to figure out how to monetize. I mean, it's worth it, right? It's a great mandolin. It's really the best. What is it called even? Well, oh, it says watch your fingers. right there. Can you see that? It says watch. Whoops. Watch your fingers. I don't know what brand is it. Oh, here it is. Ben Reiner vegetable slicer. It's really the best. Yeah. Okay. So, shallot is in there. Let's move those leeks over. Shallot's in there. Let's salt it and pepper it. You know, I only do to taste. Eyeball it. If you like a lot of salt, put a lot of salt. If you don't love a lot of salt, don't put too much salt. I'm putting so much salt. And so much pepper. Because pepper is the best. I should actually do a recipe. I have a great recipe that I made for a black pepper simple syrup for cocktails. Also not low carb. Low carb. Okay, lower the heat, let that stuff really simmer down. And by low, I mean low. So, let's see if we can see that. See? Low. We'll just kind of let that release some moisture and get real the tender. Now, remember how I said I would chop up garlic? I would if I was entertaining. But I'm feeding the husband and me. So, and I also want to make the second course. And these giant leeks are just sitting here ready to go. Well, you know you have to wash leeks. So I'm going to teach you a real trick about that. In any case, let me also show you what's going on this rustic bruschetta. It is my, hold on. See this? Now it doesn't look like much, but it's very, very Italian. It is a pickled cipollini onion. And I learned how to make these from my roommate when I lived in l'Italia. So, it was a long time ago. It's like 22 years. Anyway, they're delicious and they're that something special, you know. Anyway. Wait, what was I gonna do? Oh shoot, I forgot. Oh yeah, while those are simmering, I'm here to teach you about the leeks. Okay, let's get going. So, I got my mandolin. I got a medium bowl, and I filled the bottom with just a little bit of water. It's probably about a cup of water right there. And you know, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take each one of these huge leeks, and I'm gonna chop them up to here. I know the green bits. You know, leeks are super dirty, like terrible dirty, and that's why I'm going to show you how to wash them, because otherwise, yeah, you don't want grit in your teeth. It's terrible. So these are the bits that have been at the grocery store just laying there, this outside sock. I always take out the outside sock. I mean, I don't know if that's right or what other people do, but I do. In this case, you can see how dirty, see? We're just going to take this off too. And give him a little rinse. Yep. And then I'm going to take them and I'm going to go like this, line them all up, and then I'm going to just chop off the ends like this. Yeah? Then I'm going to take them, let me move them carrots, because those are also for the leeks dish. I'm going to put those here and just go for it. It doesn't have to be perfect. That little tail there, who cares? Actually, though, what I might do is cut this bit off. So much more workable. There we go. And then just keep on, yeah, it is way better. The leeks make you cry. It's a lily. They all do. In any case, that water at the bottom, now I'm going to just zhuzh them around. I just washed my hands, no worries. And make sure you wash your hands too. Just zhuzh them around, zhuzhing and zhuzhing and zhuzhing. Then I take, before I put the next one in, see there's 2 more to go. 2 more. What I'm going to do is fill it up with more water. more water. So now I'm gonna do the other two in high speed. Okay, they're all three done. That's a lot of leeks, but they're gonna shrink a lot. Now I'm gonna do a wash. They're soaking right now, so some of that grit is coming out. But now I'm gonna overflow this bowl, overflow it, and zhuzh, 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 keep zhuzhing until all the dirt comes out. And you'll like push this down, dump, push down, dump. You can kind of see how really kind of dirty the water is. There's a lot of grit and dirt in there. So you want to make sure these are really clean. You'll probably do the push and pour. Okay, guys, that's what it looks like. I did the zhuzh 3 times. I dumped it out. Everything is real clean. There's no grit. The water came clear, and I guess the water ran clear is a better way to say it. Anyway, now I'm going to add all of this. This is about 4 cups of leeks. I'm going to add all of this to the pressure cooker. See it right there. In the meantime, I've turned off the heat for the mushrooms, that rustic bruschetta. I'm going to chop that sourdough bread that the husband made, and I'm going to assemble it. I'll show you how. But first, we have to add that peach jam secret ingredient, okay? For now, though, I'm going to dump this in here. There it is, all dumped. Oh wait, I forgot some. There we go. I told my husband that I wanted to make this tonight, and he said, so you're gonna clean the kitchen, right? I'm like, is that part of the deal? I didn't know that. Weird. Anyway, into the leeks are also going to go, and I'm just gonna do this now because we're just gonna let it cook in that pressure cooker. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wash up, oh, let's say 3 carrots. Maybe 4. Yeah, 4 carrots. 1, 2, 3, 4. That size. And remember, you've got about 4 cups of leeks to these 4 carrots. 4 seems like a magic number for this delicious dish. I'm just gonna tip these off right here. Okay. So, oh wait, you guys can't see it. How about that? Yeah. Okay. So now what I'm gonna do with these carrots is I'm gonna rough chop them, and I'm gonna go on the bias fancy, you know. And so I'm gonna do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and I'm gonna show you how wide. They're like a little carrot chip. Okay, and keep going. Remember, this dinner is not low carb at all, because we're gonna add rice to that thing too. So we added the carrots to the pot. Can you see it still? Yeah, there it is. We added the carrots to the pot. We're gonna add a 1/4 cup of rice. You know, we're on to autumn here, and it's such a nice autumn flavor. As we say goodbye to summer, this is a great sort of in-between. You've got the carrots, so the color of autumn, but you've got the leeks, summery, onion, green, pretty, and you've got the rice, comfort, super special. I'm gonna add some chicken broth. So now, you probably know how to cook rice, but in case you don't, and I stink at cooking rice, the husband taught me, for a 1/4 cup of rice, you would want a 1/2 cup of liquid. So it's 1 to 2 parts. 1 cup of rice to 2 cups of water or chicken broth. In this case, it's a 1/4 cup of rice and a 1/2 cup of chicken broth. So I'm definitely gonna use the chicken broth. And guess what? I'm gonna add a little sugar. So, what I forgot to account for actually is all the other stuff that's in the pot. So we are still going to put, I'm going to put actually a quarter cup of rice in there, but I've put a full cup of water because of course you still want that stuff all to boil down. Okay, so 4 cups of leeks, okay, 4 whole carrots washed and rough chopped, a quarter cup of rice, a half cup of water or chicken broth in this case, so far, and a teaspoon of sugar, just a teaspoon, it's just a kick, and then salt and pepper. Okay, I'm gonna add all that stuff to that girl. This much, like a heaping teaspoon. Not too much, but yeah. All right. And of course, salt and pepper to taste. In this dish, I don't think I really use all that much pepper because I wasn't taught to. My little niece doesn't like black pepper, so I don't usually put it in. And I don't think the actual original recipe of Zeytinyağlı Pırasa actually calls for black pepper. And I love it so much. So I just dash it in. All right. Okay. And then I'm going to set it. We're on to the last ingredient. We'll get back to that. And it's just Costco olive oil. It's actually really good olive oil. And if you know anything about Costco, then you know that, their quality standards are pretty high. And that's a lot to say during COVID because I think a lot of standards are just non-existent because we're not able to have the standards that we once had. So there it is. In any case, if you want good extra virgin olive oil, Costco is your place. I mean, it's consistent and well priced and, comes in a big old bottle. And when you're married to a Turkish guy, you better have olive oil around. In any case, remember this is called Zeytinyağlı Pırasa. Zeytinyağlı means olive oil. That means a main portion of the dish is olive oil. See this? Yeah, that's a half a cup you're gonna put in. Half a cup of olive oil. While it sounds like a lot, it's cultural to do so. So I try to stay as authentic to the recipe as I possibly can. I'm gonna put more when it's done cooking. Now, what my husband says is zeytinyağlı, anything should be served at room temperature. I mean, that's common sense, right? I had no idea. In any case, I won't be able to serve at room temperature, but for future, if you ever want this as a crowd pleaser, when you have guests over, you can make it the night before, take it out of the refrigerator, bring it to room temperature, and then serve it at a dinner party. I'm telling you, it's gonna knock people's socks off. I mean, try it first because it's gonna knock your socks off. So, half a cup of olive oil, and we're gonna add that right now. And then we're gonna close it up and cook it for 40 minutes in the pressure cooker, which in Turkish is düdüklü tencere. Okay. I'm back.
First Turkish word.
See? Pressure cooker. That girl started. I don't know why I give her, I gender her female. But for some reason, she reminds me of a boat or a car, which both are female, so she's a she. Hard-ass work. She's a hard-ass working bitch, if you ask me. I'm gonna say. Anyway, she's in there for 40 minutes. They're doing her thing, cooking that it's pressure cooked, so it's a lot of heat, intense, short amount of time. And you'll see when it comes out. It won't look like much, but it's gonna taste like finger looking good. Yum. Okay, what are we on to now? We're gonna finish up the mushrooms so that I can give him some food before he chops my head off. Whack. Did you hear that? Whack. Oh, that's from What We Do in the Shadows, which is probably our favorite show, next to The Office. Yeah, anyway. Okay, it's time for this to go in. Notice it's Roosters, Georgia peach butter. Remember, we're in Georgia. But also, the Roosters market, and their brands of foods, if you can get them, are among my favorites. They have spicy garlic pickle chips. Oh my God, I can eat a whole jar, and I mean a whole jar. Like aggressively. Get away from me, and these are my pickles and all. Anyway, so here's the peach butter is really what it is. And I'm just gonna add, let's say that much. Looking like about a tablespoon, I'd say that much. Yeah, tablespoon. I just dig in. Remember, you know I love to eyeball it, and I mean it too. Eyeball it. Maybe a little less, you know. Get that in there. And then I'm gonna take my pickled cipollinis that I showed you. Yeah, and if you don't have cipollinis, don't you worry. I'm going to show you how to make them at some point. And I'm also going to do pickled onions. I got a lot of content to show y'all, so I can't wait. But this is what they look like. You know, I made them. Whee! Oops. I'm just going to rough chop them and get them heated in that pan before I put them on his sourdough bread. Now, if you are in a place where you cannot get sourdough bread, I'll have to make a recipe for it. It's not my recipe to really make, though. It's my husband's. I have no patience for baking, although you'll see me bake on this channel a little. But I still don't have any patience. You know, my mama is a great cook, and I mean, she's a great cook, but even she's like, I have no time for the baking. I tend to agree with her. I'm just no baker, even though I can bake, and so can she. I guess it's just not our favorite things. Anyway, here we go. This is 2 cipollini onions right here. See? It's about a handful. I mean, we're looking at probably 2 tablespoons though, not too much, because they are pickled in balsamic vinegar, which has its own sweetness and tartness, but they give a good tooth. You know, I'm into secret ingredients. You know, those ingredients where people are like, what is this? This is one of those things. People go, what is this? That's what it is. Trodo's in. So we got the peach butter from Roasters. We've got the cipollini onions from my own pickling. If you can't find cipollini onions, skip them or throw them in there and roast them like I did with the shallots. No problem. It doesn't, that's what's so cool about this being rustic. It's not one size fits all. Just like all my low carb stuff, it's not one size fits all. God made all of us different. I mean, truly different. Miraculous.
Okay, you guys.
Anyway.
Here it is. This is everything assembled. That's the shallot, olive oil, mushrooms, peach butter. You can use peach jam, whatever you got. And the cipollini onions. And if you can't find cipollini onions, screw it. Don't add it. What's the big deal? Anyway, this is going to be ready to be assembled. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rustic cut. It means on the bias, okay? I'm going to rustic cut that sourdough bread that my husband made. I can't wait to show you this gorgeous bread. So, I'm going to get a new cutting board. This is my husband's rustic sourdough bread. He is amazing. I mean, he has made his own starter. He feeds the starter once a week. He has aged the starter. He's developed the starter, and he has practiced making sourdough bread, and it's really perfect. I mean, even this little it's so delicious. It's so comforting. And so this is what time of year we're in, is a comforting year. Of course, I'm also using my favorite cutting boards. I love these things. They're so good. What are they even? I don't know. Something. Anyway, I'm going to show you how to cut it so that it's kind of fancy. On the bias means, see, this is cut straight. A bias cut is like that. You get me? So
like, this is a
Okay,
terrible
so
knife
here
to
we
use.
go.
That is not a bread knife. A little fancy. I guess it wouldn't really matter, but I do want smaller pieces. So we're just gonna make 2 because it's just an appetizer. But we're not gonna eat for 40 minutes. So, you know, I don't love waiting so long. I'll tell you something else. He doesn't like it either. And I like a happy husband, not a grumpy husband. Oy. Okay, so here we go. Man, that's a gorgeous piece of bread. Gorgeous.
Okay, you guys.
Just gonna toast
ready
him up.
to assemble now.
As he's putting away groceries. Anyway, so here, this is that delicious rustic sourdough. On it, I just shook some olive oil on there. Now remember, I'm married to a dude that's all about the olive oil, and I love it too. So it's a nice flavor note. I really overuse flavor note, but it is. It's what it is. Anyway, let's plate this thing. Oh, whoops. I forgot the goat cheese. Geesh. I use a spoon. Here's the goat cheese. I think the best goat cheese is at Trader Joe's. But, I mean, it's really all this. It's all similar, I should say. It's not all the same, but it's, you know, you want the tang and bite of the goat cheese. That's what you want. And you want to spread it on like that. Maybe I could go just a little fatter. I mean, this is our dinner. This is not an hors d'oeuvre necessarily. So I can go a little heavier. How about like that? Sure. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. Oops. And I'm going to get these mushrooms. And I'm going to smear them right on here. Yeah. Just a little bit more. Oh, yeah. So it'll look like a little bit of that, okay? But I want to garnish it. And I always plate everything like I'm in a restaurant, like so fancy. I don't know why. It's just something fun. So I chopped up a bunch of parsley. See? Can you see it? It's probably 3 tablespoons, not too much. And then, oh, look how pretty. That's it. That's rustic bruschetta. I'm going to take a big old super picture of it and put it somewhere. Okay. Really? I'm back. So the pressure cooker has finished. Like I said, 40 minutes in the pressure cooker. I have an Instant Pot. If you have something different, I'm pretty sure it's still 40 minutes.
Okay, you guys.
So I've taken the camera off of the tripod so I can show you in the pot what the Zeytinyağlı
Okay, here it
pırasa
is.
looks
This is
like.
what it looks like. Now notice you can see green bits of olive oil. You want that. That means you made a successful dish. Oops, I don't want to fog up the camera. Anyway, notice the carrots, and then you've got the rice.
Anyway,
and also
please give this one a go. It's so delicious.
Okay,
I'm going to plate it
here
for
it
you
is.
so you can see what it looks like.
Plated it. It's ready to go.
This is what it should look like. It is a warm hug in your tummy. There's no low carb. There's no low anything in this. It's just high delicious. Not low, high. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it. So try it out. 3 leeks, 4 cups, 4 carrots, a 1/4 cup of rice, a 1/2 cup of chicken broth. Zhuzh it all together, salt and pepper, a little bit more than a teaspoon of sugar. Cook it for 40 minutes in the pressure cooker if you have an Instant Pot. If you don't have an Instant Pot, try it for 40 minutes anyway. It should probably be okay. Okay? Enjoy. This will follow your rustic bruschetta. That's Italian. That's Turkish. Enjoy. Let me know.